everyone. Aishika Jha of C.V. Raman Global University is here with her team to present a video before you. And the topic for the video is space debris, a major problem in future. In this video, we are going to know about Earth's orbit and satellites, what are space debris, crowding and cause of space debris, and the problem caused by it. So, we will learn about Earth's orbit. Since our primary section, we are coming across the word Earth's orbit. An orbit is a regular, repeating path that one object in orbit is around another one. And the object in orbit is called satellite, which can be natural like moon or man-made like International Space System. Now I would request Deepak to take the video ahead and tell us more about orbitals.
Thank you, Shikha. Now our Earth's orbit is classified into three parts: the lower Earth orbit, medium Earth orbit, and geosynchronous orbit. The lower Earth orbit is an Earth-centered orbit close to the planet, often specified as an orbit period of 128 minutes or less and an eccentricity less than 0.25. Most of the artificial objects in outer space are in the lower Earth orbit, with an altitude never more than about one-third of the radius of the Earth. The term LEO region is also used for the area of space below an altitude of 1,000 kilometers. Objects in this orbit which pass through this area are carefully tracked because they present a collision risk to many other satellites in the lower Earth orbit. Medium Earth orbit, a region of space in between the lower Earth orbit and the geostationary orbit, is called the medium Earth orbit. This orbit is at a distance of 2,000 to 36,000 kilometers from the Earth's surface. This orbit is ideal for navigation and communication satellites. All satellites in medium Earth orbit have an orbital period of less than 24 hours, with a minimum period of about 22 hours. Geosynchronous orbit. A geosynchronous orbit is a high Earth orbit that allows satellites to match Earth rotation. Located at around 22,000 miles above Earth's equator, this position is a valuable spot for monitoring, communications, and surveillance. Because the satellite orbits at the same speed that the Earth is turning, the satellite seems to stay in the place over a single longitudinal equator. Now I would like to request Vajit to take the video ahead and tell us more about space debris.
Thank you, Deepak. Here I will discuss that location and amount of debris present in the outer space. As we know that most of the space junk around the Earth are remains of launching object from the Earth. They remain in the orbit until they enter the Earth's orbit. These two pictures shows that how the space junk are surrounded to the Earth and its orbit. Now we will look upon the sources of debris: defunct spacecraft, mission debris, rocket bodies, fragmentation debris, explosion, degradation, collision, deliberate debris creation, ASAT test, which mean anti-satellite weapon test, which also create space junk. But that's not all. Objects smaller than 10 cm are consistently trackable. There may be as many as 5 lakh of object ranging from 1 to 10 cm in size. Perhaps as many as 10 to 100 of millions of object is less than 1 cm. No active collision avoidance is possible for such object. These objects can cripple or destroy the spacecraft, endanger the astronaut, whose evidence is in the next slide. Here is the picture how the spacecraft has been damaged by the space junk. The total mass of such junks are 6,300 tons. Now we have a video which show how the space junk are destructing the spacecraft. Here is the graph representing the type of debris and their respective growth which are tracked till 2012. Such objects include fragmentation debris, spacecraft, mission related debris, rocket bodies. The growth of such debris are here represented year by year. Similarly, we have another graph which is mass versus year representing the growth of the debris, which has also the same composition: spacecraft, rocket bodies, fragmentation debris, mission related debris. Now we have some images showing the density or crowdiness of the debris. This is the picture of year 1960, where we can see there is no more junk surrounded by the earth. Some of the few junks are there which are not man-made, these are natural ones. Again in 1980, we can see that the space junks have grown like this. They are not more, but they have grown. Now in 2000, the space junk have increased much. We can see that the density have increased more than the previous cases. In 2010, the space junk have become more dense on outer atmosphere of the earth and on its orbit. We can see we have a space surveillance network (SSN) which track the data of such space junk. Here is a table which tells us that total number of debris at all in the altitude are 150 millions of size 0.1 to 1 centimeter, 7,80,000 whose size is ranging from 1 to 10 centimeter, 23,000 greater than 10 centimeter, and debris in low Earth orbit are 20 millions of size 0.1 to 1 centimeter and 4 lakh whose size is ranging from 1 to 10 centimeter and 50,000 greater than 10 centimeter. These data are taken from European Space Agency, Master 2005. From 2006 to 2008, the growth of debris is continuously growing till this date. And further, my friend Sandeepan will discuss how the space debris cause problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajit. Now, how space debris cause problem to us? Continuous creation of space debris will lead to the Kessler syndrome, when the density of object in low Earth orbit is high enough that collision between objects and debris create a scattered effect. Each crash generates debris that then increase the likelihood of further collisions. Now, objects in low Earth orbit travels at a speed of 10 km per second, fast enough to cause significant damage to satellite, spacecraft and spacewalking astronauts. The rising number of debris increases the potential danger to all the space vehicles, especially to the one with human aboard the International Space Station. Now I am going to show you a video in which you can see how a debris storm caused damage to the astronauts and their spacecraft. You can see how debris cause problem to the astronauts and their spacecraft. To know more about the damages caused by the space debris, I would like to call Prabhat.
Thank you, Sandipan. Let's consider some big problem caused by space debris in past. Recently, China's new Long March 5B rocket, which was launched for the China's new Tianhan space station, crashed due to collision with space debris. And fortunately, it was foiled in Indian Ocean near Maldives. You can imagine that if it would fail in a populated area, that could cause huge damage for humans. Another incident is collision of auto communication satellite Iridium 33 and defected Russian satellite Cosmos 2251 on 9th February 2009 above northern Siberia, which caused the destruction of active Iridium 33 satellite, and a huge cloud of debris formed after collision. In this picture, the red dots around the Earth are the space debris formed due to this collision. Another incident was collision of US first space station Skylab. In 11 July 1979, 77-ton Skylab deorbited due to collision with space debris and hit Western Australia. So due to massive increasing space debris, big damage occurs. If we do not take care of this problem, that will cause major problem in future space exploration. Then I am passing to Shikha.
So here we come to the end of our part 1 presentation. Hope you liked it. At the end, I would request you all to kindly hit the like button and give your valuable comment in the Google form attached in the description of the video, so that we can work according to your suggestion in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.